right, semifinal action, 74 kilos. Isaiah Martinez, Tommy Gant. Martinez in the red, Gant in the blue. Isaiah Martinez, number 2 currently on the U.S. ladder. That's not including guys coming up or down from other weight classes, of course, like Kyle Dake. Martinez gets to the leg of Gant. Gant pulls the leg off. Aymar runs it off the mat. Caution and 1. Isaiah Martinez takes an early lead. Hard tie there from Aymar. Gant level change. Tommy Gant presents a lot of problems for guys at this weight class with his height. Really explosive as well. And he can scramble through a lot of positions, so never a tough out. Isaiah Martinez, definitely the favored wrestler in this bout. His freestyle development in the last couple years has been impressive. Tommy Gant looking to control wrist. Aymar looks for that arm drag, unable to score from it. Finger fight here now, Aymar and Gant. Aymar tries to pop the elbow and go to the shot. Nice little exchange. Gant goes overhook, steps into trip. Aymar trying to step over. Good whizzer pressure there from Gant. Aymar takes the action off the mat. 1 point for the step out. He's up 2-0. Gant trying to work from wrist control. Gets an underhook on the opposite side, drops to a leg. Aymar, though, man, just closes that space and puts so much pressure on Gant. Gant gets a ton of pressure with this whizzer. Aymar so far, though, has been able to deal with it. Another point for Aymar on the step out. Goes up 3-0. Edge of the mat wrestling 2 years ago was probably one of Aymar's weaknesses in freestyle, and he's made that one of his stronger positions. Saw that in his matches with Jordan Burroughs at Final X. One of those matches Aymar won, and really impressive work in changing that mat tactics on the edge, and seen it already here in this match. 3 edge of the mat scores for Martinez, while Gant has had a really tough whizzer position. Time runs out, first period. Take a short break and head to the second period. Tommy Gant getting feedback from the Wolfpack coaches. Isaiah Martinez getting feedback from the Illinois RTC guys. Back to action. Tommy Gant trails 3-0 to Isaiah Martinez. Martinez looks for a single now. Gant's on a single of his own. Aymar looking to defend. Able to break the lock of Gant. Now Gant gets on a low-level attack. Really nice exchange. Gant trips. 2 offered. Action is white paddled. Then Aymar takes it off the mat. 2 points for Aymar confirmed off the mat. Aymar goes up 5-0. Really nice exchange for Gant, but Aymar avoided danger and then turned it into his own points. Good action. Gant looks for another attack. Aymar, really nice defense. Aymar now in on a leg. Good re-attack. Now Aymar underneath the leg. Gant trying crotch lift. Off the mat. Back to our feet. Isaiah Martinez 5-0 lead. There's about 2 minutes left in this match. Good edge of the mat wrestling by Gant, but there again, Aymar aware of the position, circled. Gant was grounded when he went out of bounds, so no points, but Aymar's edge of the mat tactics on display. He is really solid in that position. Tommy Gant, another attack. Aymar, another re-attack. Two there for Aymar, goes up 7-0. Gant's corner challenged that takedown call. That'll be reviewed. Give Tommy Gant maybe a second to collect himself.
19 seconds left.
The other semifinal at this weight between Nittany Lions, Vincenzo Joseph, and Jason Nolf. Nolf the higher seed, but I'm really interested to see what will happen in that matchup.
Now wrestling on.
I wrestled in the trials. Yeah, I was 149 pounds.
That was your choice, bro.
Yeah, well,
you could have wrestled. You could have wrestled 66 kilos.
You've always had, you wrestle normal. Okay, here, this is what we'll do. I'll wrestle 2 matches or 3 matches in the morning of NCAA on Saturday, and then you sit out all day, and I'll wrestle you there.
So we're getting into the sitting out for the trials. Here's my question. If we're hypothesizing about a wrestling match that would happen between you guys and folk style, so where I think it gets really difficult is like Jordan Burroughs cannot have a win as good as David Taylor. It is impossible for him to have beaten David Taylor or anyone that good in college, and he beat basically his last 2 years everyone.
I disagree because I believe Andrew Howe, when Andrew Howe was coming off his 2010 season and he was extremely dominant, he was undefeated. I went up a weight class. I came off of an injury. I took an entire year off. I tore my LCL, PCL, came back, beat the undefeated returning national champ at a weight class above me. You beat a guy who had just gotten beat. He wasn't the national champ the year before.
You've been in school for 4 or 5 years already?
Who had been in school 4 or 5 years?
You had.
What do you mean?
He was coming off his freshman campaign or sophomore campaign, wasn't he?
No, he was coming off of a U.S. Open championship in 2010 and an undefeated national championship season.
Depleted weight class. We can agree on that.
So what do you mean depleted? We had Travis Paulson, Trent Paulson, both of the guys who were
how many world medals did they
at
have?
74 kilos for a number of years. Hi, baby.
So okay, here's a question. One of Ben's point was, hey, look at that baby.
Christian. In all fairness, there's a lot of heat this morning. I think these guys are both just about as good as it gets in college wrestling. I had Kyle Dake by 16 seconds of riding time. I mean, for all it's worth, I don't think that's all that offensive.
That's the thing. I don't get ridden.
Okay, Jordan, I'll just tell you where I came from. It was stuck in my head. I couldn't get it out. Michael Chandler rode you for 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the first period of the Big 12 championships in 2009. I understand that's not 2011, but at the same time, Michael Chandler's not Kyle Dake, and I also couldn't shake Kyle Dake not riding David Taylor because I did not think David Taylor was all that rideable. And then somehow Kyle Dake freaking blew my mind and rode him. And so for what it's worth, I chose Kyle Dake by 16 seconds.
So a match that happened
really
in 2009 in my folk style career, in which we already discussed progressions of wrestlers.
Yeah, I agree.
No, doesn't work like that.
But Michael Chandler is not
listen,
Kyle
let's
Dake.
just break down. Let's break down the seasons. Let's just break down the seasons. Kyle's senior year.
I mean, I don't really
to my
care
senior year.
to talk about the past like that. We're talking about the future. Let's talk about right now.
What do you mean, right? Let's go, bro.
No,
I mean,
that's
you
not.
keep stretching, you keep hurting yourself. You're going to keep getting worse and worse. You're going to use that excuse all the way down.
Stop. No, that's not what we're talking
What
about.
excuse?
We're talking about 2 hypothetical
You're
seasons.
getting older. You're not who you used to be.
I've never once said that. You're the guy that said progressively.
Laying the groundwork. That's okay. That's okay.
So here's the deal.
I was like that, man. I used to be like that. I used to be injured. It used to suck to train. I couldn't train that hard. I know how it feels. It stinks. But that's okay.
I don't understand what you're talking about right now.
All right, buddy.
Okay, so
I don't get what you're talking about exactly.
I don't know what I'm trying to do at this point, but here, let me try.
But here's the deal.
Because I don't want this to come in. Because I can be honest, I had no idea Kyle was coming on the show.
That was my idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was only fair. I didn't think it was fair for only one side of the argument to be told. If we're gonna have an argument, a real genuine argument, I only figured it's fair if we have both sides. Otherwise, Jordan, you're gonna tell a very compelling case. You have a great argument, I'm sure. I just didn't think it was fair if both sides were told. I didn't even tell Christian.
No, he did. So here's my question.
And it's all good. Hey, here's the deal. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But if we're stating hard, cold facts here, and we're talking about our senior years in comparison to each other, I think I would have won. That's the bottom line. That's why I'm here, is to refute anything that Brocky say, anything that Askren says. And Kyle coming on the show makes it even better because obviously he's going to be confident in his abilities. But if you just look at the numbers, period, if we're just going basically off of statistics, then I think that I beat him every time.
So here's my question. I want to ask some questions. Jordan, would you have gone under Kyle?
I wouldn't have to, bro. I wouldn't have to. I would have got.
So that's a no.
I'm thinking
That's smart. Hey, that's a good game plan. I wouldn't go under me either.
Yeah, honestly, I could see a scenario. I think that makes sense if you go into it with a mindset, hey, I got 5 minutes to take him down.
Another question. Are you going to cut me when I choose bottom?
Yeah, sure.
You going to go optional start and cut me?
Sure. I'd love to. I go optional start. Listen, I'm thinking about the guys that I've wrestled who are really tough on top of my
Because if you try to ride me for even a half a second, I'm going to reverse you. And then you're automatically on
Stop it. Now you're being disrespectful,
I'll
bro.
over that leg instantly and reverse you.
Look back at my career and see how many times I ever got reversed. I don't know if I've ever been reversed.
I'll make you feel like
I honestly don't know if I've ever been reversed.
Don't worry, I'll throw that leg.
I know you got taken down.
Stats you came with.
Yeah, what are the stats?
All right, so here's the stats. So stats are I came with. I'm talking about, and if we're not going to talk about the totality of careers, even in which Kyle won NCAA titles, but I think I had a lot more depth in all of the weight classes that I competed in.
How many national champs?
We'll just talk about. What do you mean?
Did you got that in there?
How many national champs? What?
How many national champs did you beat along the way?
Yeah, so I got the stats. So in college, but amongst my college career, so this is between my junior and senior year, I beat 5 different national champions. I beat 3 national champions in a single year. When I won an NCAA title 2009, I beat 3 national champions in the same season. 3 current national champions, not guys that would go on to become a national champ. I beat 3 national champions, current national champions, in a single season at 157 my junior year. And I'm sure that no season you could say that. Overall, in my career, I beat 5 total national champions. I beat 5 additional guys that were national runner-ups. So that's 10 total guys that were in the national finals. 5 of them were national champions. Let's see what else I got. Obviously, Andrew Howe, my senior year, coming back.
Lift.
A mat return, bro? Stop. Stop it.
And then I just suck the life out of you. I can get on top of you.
You guys, so you can't say. So here's the deal. You You're saying you would have rode me on top, none of which happened. No one rode me my senior year of college. Never gave up a single riding time point. Number two, they're saying that I wouldn't take you down, which if you're saying David's the most prolific scorer, he got to your legs, he took you down. So you're saying David could take you down, but I couldn't take you down?
Yeah, different.
If you look at freestyle match,
times.
we've wrestled 8 times? We've wrestled 8 times in freestyle?
Yeah, I had to wrestle 9 times before I wrestled you. You can't count that.
Why?
Because you're sitting out fresh the whole time.
What do you mean? Bro, that's the name of the game.
We both went to the same tournament. Not one takedown. I got run the clock 3 or 4 times. That's not very
And how many takedowns did you get, bro?
Push you out twice. The only time,
Okay.
the only offensive points. But that's my point. The point is not me taking you down. The point is you not taking me down when we're on a level playing field.
Kyle, how many takedowns did you give up your senior year? Because I could only find the one to David in the finals.
I think it was 1 that year. I don't think I gave up any in my junior year, and my sophomore year I didn't give up any.
Lies, you gave up one your sophomore year because you got beat by Kevin LaValle.
Yeah, in
He took you
overtime.
down.
I don't think it was a takedown. I think it was escape.
I'm pretty sure he took you down in the EIWA finals or EWL finals.
All right, so 1 takedown. So 2 takedowns over 3 years. What you got?
Which was amazing. But
all I'm saying is that you're probably not going to take me down because I can just roll through. You saw what I did to Montel. You almost had me dead to rights.
We're
Squirreled
talking
my
about
way out
Montel
of it.
Marion? Montel
That
Marion?
takedown.
Are we really comparing Montel?
Montel
You're gonna
Marion.
get
Montel was good.
Throw my way out.
You can't come.
There it is.
It was freshman Dake.
Yeah, I know. I know you got that. I mean, unbelievable. But it is a different skill set altogether when it's Jordan Burroughs.
Of
And number
course.
2, like if we're just talking about pure wrestling, I wrestled you in that same season in freestyle only months after they.
You remember when they changed
down
the
in
rules
Oklahoma
and I
City.
would have beat you if we used UWW rules, I would have beat you?
Bro, stop it. Number 1.
What do you mean?
We
stop
used the
it? It was
rules that were in
6
effect
or
that day.
like 3
Number
seconds
2,
left. It went into
how many
overtime, we had
takedowns?
to get the takedown.
How many? Okay.
I had a
All right, so
clause
let's
behind
go
me
back
that
to
I
that
gave it
video.
up.
Let's go back to that video.
got the
Let's
video,
watch how
Becky?
many times did I take you down? How many times
got
did I
the
take you
video?
down in that match? How many times did I take you down those 2 matches?
If it was the traditional rules and I didn't have to wrestle 4 matches, one against the Andrew Howe that you're talking about in overtime for an extra 6 or 7 minutes, it would have been different.
Here's
You
my
know
question.
it. You know it would be different. You can't say that.
I don't believe it.
All right.
I don't
So how
believe
about
it.
you don't rescind your sit out? Just wrestle through the tournament. Rescind it. If it doesn't make a difference, rescind it.
Yeah, but that's a spot that I rightfully earned. Why would I?
Oh, okay. You won't do that now because it does
here's
make a difference, and you know it.
But I wrestle.
Don't
Okay,
act
so
like
let's look back then at
And
perspective from
freestyle
this
is only
past
one
year.
of the 3 positions that we're talking about in folk style.
Let's look back
There's
at this
3
past
positions
year
in folk
where I
style.
wrestled.
I'm going
Let's
into
look
that
back at
match
this past
probably
year.
winning 2-0 because I'm going to get riding time and I'm going to get the escape.
All right, let's do this.
And
Let's do
USA
this.
Wrestling has made amendments to the rules specifically for you because you whined for the last 5 years so we could make Final X so guys would be able to wrestle their best out of 3 series on a different day as the mini
Do you
tournament.
want the best guy in the tournament, or do you want the guy who happened to ever go through it? You never went through that.
Yeah, because I
You
went
have
through
no
the World
idea what it's
Championships.
like.
That was a little
Not
harder than
one
the mini
time.
tournament,
Yeah, I
bro.
wrestled at the World Championships too. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, at 79 kilos. Good for you, bro.
Yeah, so I went ahead and won 2 world titles. So I know what it's like. to
Yeah,
wrestle at the World
79 kilos.
Championship. It's a huge advantage to be able to sit out. Huge advantage. You can't argue otherwise. And
I
if
don't
you
think
do,
so.
it's just silly.
I don't think it's.
It's
I don't
just
think it's.
silly.
Yeah,
Okay, rescind it.
if you don't have
Just rescind it.
great
Don't
conditioning,
take
sure,
it.
it's a big advantage.
Don't take
If you don't
it.
have if your conditioning level
It's
is
a
not
matter
great, of
of
course
a
it's a big
0.5%
advantage.
difference. It's a matter of 0.5% difference. If I have 0.5% less energy in the finals, that makes a difference.
You got to find a way to get it. You got to find a way to get to it, bro.
How human physiology works doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Okay, whatever.
All right,
Human
all right,
physiology.
all right.
I'm not a scientist. So
Guys,
Me
we're off
let's
track.
bring it back.
We're
Let's
so
bring it
far
back
off
to
track.
let's bring it back to final. Let's bring it back to Final X this past year, 2019.
Oh no,
I'm not-
2013 versus 2011. No,
No,
bring it back 2019.
no,
You did this,
20
Ben.
2019.
Ben, you.
I'm saying
Take it
my
farther back.
listen.
All I'm talking about,
My ability to wrestle
I'm
through.
counting one position. I'm counting all three positions, and that's it.
But if we're talking
Your
if we're talking
2011
about
version, my 2013 version, I'm beating it.
let's talk about
Post-style
trilogies
match,
though.
there.
All right, so if we're talking about human physiology, if we're talking about trilogies, if you go back to this past year and watch me wrestle Imar at Final X here in Lincoln 2019,
Oh, in Lincoln, your hometown.
very
How
close
far
first
is that
match.
from your
Very
house?
very close first match. Lost the second
what
match.
Are we talking about right now? Are we talking
And then
about
dominated the
post-style
third match.
Are we
I'm just talking about I'm talking about trilogies in which
Am I
guys
Isaiah
are on
Martinez? I
equivalent
don't know.
playing
Did I
fields.
transfer it into a different person?
No, but you're saying
No, I
that you only lost the series because you were so extremely tired in the third match because of wrestling matches
That's
earlier
not
in
the
the
only
day.
reason I lost.
I'm telling you, if we wrestle a third match, if we wrestle a
And the rules
3-match
were changed.
series, if we wrestle a 3-match series, it doesn't matter, bro.
I'm gonna win these next two, no problem.
Okay, we'll
you're
see.
getting old. You keep stretching out their practice. That's making you worse and worse. It's hurting you, man.
Stop it. Stop it.
You're getting slower,
Stop
you're
it.
not quite as fast and as strong as you used to be. You keep
So
getting injured.
is this the best version of yourself? Is this the best
That's
version
all
of
right.
yourself?
I have a whole other year to get better. Oh my gosh, yes. You are in for a
Bro,
world of hurt. Sorry, buddy.
All right, well, we're cutting a trial
Yeah.
now.
Stop it.
I think people are
It's
going to be.
2011 versus 2013. That's all we're
Ben,
talking about
Ben,
right now.
Have you not
What?
learned anything? That's not happening. Are you listening to them? They don't want to talk
Listen.
about
I'm just trying to pull it
No,
back.
no,
You talked
hold
about
on.
2019,
The-
I'm just talking about
you know-
2013 fuck Kyle Dake.
Stop it. When I said 2013, 2011, you were like, I don't want to talk about the past. Let's talk about now.
All right, let's talk about it.
You were the guy that said it specifically.
I thought.
Said specific-
Listen,
It's the same thing. You're gonna be saying the same thing a year from now. You're gonna be like, oh, I had to wrestle the day before, and I had a couple of tough matches. You don't understand human physiology. I lost my 0.5%. I'm not feeling this great. You had this advantage. Now you're trying to convince me to give up the advantage that I earned by being a world medalist. You're like, give it up.
All right, I have a question.
You
about
earned
the
it.
advantage.
I'm sure it will.
Let me ask a
God, I'm
question
so-
about the
I'm
advantage.
so
Since that's where we're
I'm sure
going,
it will.
hold on. If we're talking about the advantage, let's talk about it. Here's the questions I've had. One, in the
There.
2017, hold on, Ben. Jeez, just relax. 2017 Open, even playing field. Okay, Jordan lost at Rio, had to sit out. So in that instance, the playing field was level. That was a crazy match. I'm sure Kyle has a lot to say about that match. Remember how that match transpired. But that match happened in 2017. And then more recently, Kyle, you went up at 79 when the playing field, when you could have got it and set yourself up for 2016 so that Jordan would potentially not have to sit out for the Olympic trials, but you went up to 79. So did you not forego
My plan
option?
was in 2019 to go down to 74. I told Daniel Cormier because we were watching Game of Thrones together, and he was really jealous that I was able to watch it. But I told him my plan is to go 74 kilos, and that's what I'm going to do. And he was pretty pumped about it, being a cowboy, and he was like, "Man, that's crazy." Then I got an injury, had to get surgery, had to come back, and the only way I was going to be able to wrestle that year is if I stayed at 79. That was the only way, and I had to take that because it was important for my family, it was important for my future, so I needed to do what was best for them. And there was no way I was going to be ready to get back in time for the scheduled Final X. It just wasn't going to happen. So that's the only reason that I didn't go 74 last year to take his spot.
Understood.
Oh, okay.
That does clarify that much anyways. So
it's not gonna happen.
this has been quite a surprise for me. I don't know if we got much closer to any sort of resolution. Not that I think we could have expected that, but
Yeah, the
to me-
resolution is TBD. It's TBD.
No,
What's
no.
that?
This match can never
how about we
actually
just go for a
happen.
post-time match? Let's do it.
No. It's 2013 versus 2011.
So if we're talking here, what's your best style? If we're just talking purely, what's your best style?
Right now? Or in 2013? 2013, folk style is my best style for sure.
No, right now.
Is that what you're asking? I think that's what you're asking. 2013,
Yeah,
my
that's
best
what I'm
style is
asking.
folk style.
Of course, you didn't wrestle freestyle often.
In 2011, your best style was
folk style. Was folk style.
Okay.
Unquestionably.
All right.
Unquestionably.
All right.
I just was the best wrestler in the world. I was the best wrestler in the world regardless of style, bro. Yeah. You're talking stylistically. I'm thinking just purely from wrestling's perspective. Guys that have really high quality folk style careers are the guys now that are transitioning that have amazing freestyle careers. If we look at our guys that are making the team within their collegiate seasons, we're looking at guys like Dayton Fix, Kyle Snyder, Gable Stevenson, guys, Bo Nickel, guys that are fresh off of their college careers. Jaden Cox, of course, right? And so I think if we're looking purely at those guys, right, which I imagine that you would consider all those guys great folk stylers, I think that just because of my success in freestyle, guys just dismiss my success in folk style.
No, I'm not dismissing your success in folk style at all.
Yeah.
You were a good folk style
so.
wrestler. You were really good. You won a Hodge. That's great. I'm just saying that you weren't as good as I was.
Kyle, you don't think Jordan takes you down basically looking at if he takes neutral, it's probably 5 minutes where you're on your feet if you don't get a takedown. You don't think he can take you down?
Even if he takes me down once, it doesn't matter. It's 2-2. We'll go into 30-second ride out, and I'll ride him out there. He's going to have to take me down 3 times to my 0 in order to beat me in this match.
I disagree.
That's not happening. That is not happening.
I disagree.
Sorry.
So how would I need 3 takedowns? How would I need? I don't understand. How would I need 3 takedowns to beat you?
Well, you get a takedown. I get an escape or a reversal, probably a reversal, and then I ride you. So it's probably 2. I probably have 2 minutes of riding time, and it's 2-2 after the first period. I choose bottom. I get out in about 10 seconds, or I reverse you because you cut me, or I get out in about 10 seconds because you cut me, or I reverse you, and then. In the third period, you have no option but to go down, and you're stubborn enough to want to do that, and then I'll ride you for the whole period.
I wouldn't go down. I wouldn't go. I'm so confident on my feet that I wouldn't need to go down. That's the thing.
Okay, so then it's still 5-2. You pick neutral. It's 5-4. I get out. It's 6-4. You get another takedown at 6-6. Now we take it in overtime, riding time, or ride outs, and I win. I don't even need to take you down.
Are you getting a turn? Are you getting a turn on top?
All I have to do is wrestle you on the mat, and I still beat you.
Are you getting a turn on top?
I'm not even talking about that. I don't even need to.
Would you get a turn? You just ride.
Could I take you down? Of course I could take you down. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Okay.
But my point is that my mat wrestling is different than yours. It's no problem. It's not.
Explain to me then the first round 3-0. Explain the first round match to me with Mark Martin that you won 3-0. If you're so prolific from your feet, you can take down anyone. And you can turn anyone.
What did I just say? Were you listening at all? I said I don't need to take you down. I said it's all mat wrestling. Listen.
Oh, but you said you could turn me as well.
Mat wrestling, I would get it. I would take you down.
So that's the difference between me and you. If I can do something,
you're going to actually engage and probably try to take me down. And if that happens, bada bing, bada boom.
So, I mean, basically, this comes down to Kyle doesn't think you will take him down. If you do, you'll have to do it multiple times, and he will ride you if it ever comes down to
which I'm completely okay with.
And you completely believe, Jordan, that you would take him down. So there we are. You think you take him down, and you wouldn't have to go under him. And Kyle Dake doesn't think you take him down. He thinks.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think I would take him down. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely take him down. No doubt about it. But I don't need to.
Disagree.
That's the thing. I'm more versatile than needing to get taken.
See, that's the difference between me and you, though. That's the difference between me and you.
So many different positions.
See, that's the difference between me and you, though, and that's why.
Between you and me and folk style, come on, stop. And freestyle.
The difference is if you look at your scores, through the NCAA tournament of your senior year,
I don't give up any points.
And you don't score many.
What are you talking about? I pin people. I pin people. And I
I'm looking at your.
At the national
you had 0 pins.
So
Okay, so explain to me why you had 0 pins at the NCAA tournament your senior year.
I didn't give up any points.
You had 0 pins. You just say you pin people.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I did. How many pins did I have that season?
You had 18.
But how many did you have at the NCAA tournament? How many pins did you have at the NCAA tournament?
What are you talking about?
Well, guys were running away from me. I still managed to score a whole bunch of points.
People were were like, man, if I can sneak one, I'm just gonna run away the whole time.
Okay, so I'm a returning national champion. I'm ranked number 1 in the country. I'm a prolific scorer my senior year. You think guys weren't running for me?
Oh, I'm sure they were, but they weren't afraid to wrestle you on the mat.
Okay, so let me mention my scores. So here's your scores at the NCAA tournament your senior year. 3-0 against Mark Martin from OSU, TOSU. LeBlanc from Indiana, 10-0. Silzer from Virginia, 13-0.
That's a lot of points too. What are you talking about? Where is all this coming from?
Tyler Caldwell, who I had wrestled in the national finals, 3-0. And then Taylor, 5-4. Okay, so now let me tell you my scores of my NCAA tournament, my senior year.
Okay. Did anybody tally up those scores? Get on that, buddy.
All right.
Ethan Headley, 23-7. 23-7. Justin Lister. Yeah, all escape points that I gave, that I forfeited.
Who are these guys?
Are we saying?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you said.
Justin Lister from Binghamton. I'm sure you know him well, bro. He's a New York kid.
Oh, yeah. I remember him. Shut him out a few times.
Who injury defaulted in the second period when I was already up 15-9. Scott Winston, 23-8.
Wow, that's a lot of points.
Scott Winston, 23-8. Colt Sponseller, 14-6. Tyler Caldwell, 11-3.
That's a lot of points.
What's the tally there? What's the tally are we looking at?
I'm working on it.
Give me the ratios.
He's crunching the numbers. He's crunching the numbers.
It's like a KD ratio.
But I think Jordan, this is the trap you can fall in with Kyle though. This is the trap I fell in when I was prognosticating the Dake versus Taylor All-Star match. I said, you compare these point differentials, you do this, you do that, and you come up with the answer. It spits out David Taylor. And then they hit, and then 3 times the same thing happened. So that is a trap you can fall into. Although, listen, I'm the one. I picked you to win this matchup, but I think that is a common trap that people fall into.
Never picked me. I don't think the only reason he picked me is because he was embarrassed the last couple of times.
What do you mean?
He was like, "Man, I am wrong so many times. I need to finally pick him to win."
That's not true.
And then I keep proving you wrong, and then you pick me and prove you right. So. I think there's a lesson to be learned.
You're incorrect. You're incorrect, Kyle. I picked David to beat you one time at the All-Star, and I never picked against you again there. I picked Jordan to beat you probably every time, and that has been mostly right. Actually, you want to know what's
something funny? I am probably the most unsuccessful, maybe after Logan, fantasy wrestler of all time. So that's all that matters.
I picked you to beat Ringer. I picked you to beat Ringer. I picked you to beat Zahid. So don't paint me as some Dake hater.
It's all right, Chris. I forgive you, bro. Don't worry about it.
There's nothing to forgive. Fine. That's my record. You have my record. Kyle, you gave her the wrong record. You said I never picked against, or I only pick against you. It's categorically untrue.
Why are you moving around so much, Jordan? Are you nervous?
What's that?
You keep switching, fidgeting, moving around. Why are you so nervous?
I'm not nervous at all, bro. Listen, here's the thing.
People going on. I don't know what's going on with you, man. You keep switching positions. You all right?
Here's the thing. We can never settle this, right? But obviously, we have a match that I hope happens in the future, depending upon your ability to get to me. Depending upon your ability to get to me, we'll have a rematch here soon in the future.
Yeah, whole year.
But
you better start training.
Okay. Here's all I'm saying to you is I watched you wrestle at the Mateo Pelicone. You look great. Had a tremendous day. But I can tell you what, 74 kilos is a lot different than 79 kilos, and I'm sure you felt that difference early on in that tournament.
Yeah, guys are very strong.
Yeah, and I watched you go 1 or 2 point match with a guy that I had never even seen before.
Who were those 2 guys that I wrestled the first match? I tacked them. You had a pretty close match with them at the World Championship, didn't you?
No, I have no idea who you're talking about. No, I'm talking about the guy from Turkey.
Oh, what
I'm
about
talking about the guy from Turkey. What about the guy from Turkey that beat 3-1?
Was that him?
What about the guy from? What about the match from Turkey?
I wrestled literally 7 minutes after my last match. Okay, that's fine. I beat him. That's all that matters. I beat him. And then what happened in the finals?
You had a great match. Yeah, congratulations, bro.
And then what did he do?
All right.
But here's the deal. Everything. everything that just because because of what
We're
you've done
listening.
against
You
those
don't have
guys.
to keep telling us to listen. We get it. You just talk. You don't need
Every
to tell me to
time
listen. I'm listening.
Every time you've had tremendous results against everyone else in the world, you look great against everyone else but me. That's the bottom line. Like, you have tremendous results against everyone but me. So yeah, you can talk about how you've won a world championship.
In the next year. Oh my gosh! I wish it happened a couple weeks ago. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, you would be at home trying to prepare. You'd be at home trying to prepare for what you're going to do for the rest of the summer. Now that you make the team,
would be in Airbnbs out in Tokyo. We'd have all of our tickets settled. It's perfect.
You'd be probably Airbnb somewhere on the beach as you figured out what was next for you.
Oh man, it would have been great.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see.
You better start training a little bit harder, stretching a little bit more.
I'm just fine, bro.
You're not going to be able to handle it. The pressure. I'm getting
just
so much
fine.
better. I'm getting younger and younger every day.
Whoa, that's
chronologically.
We shall see.
I was older than you before. I know it sounds bogus, but you don't understand the human body. Not many people do. But I'm getting younger and younger every single day. You stop fidgeting.
And when you were younger and younger, that didn't work out very well for you. That didn't work very well for you.
No, when I was younger, I was injured. I was contemplating retirement. I wasn't ready to compete. I had a few weeks to get ready. That's how you're going to feel. You're not going to be able to train that hard. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be the same guy.
And why is that?
I'm instilling that doubt into you because you know it's true. You're not going to be the same guy.
I don't.
I feel bad for you, bro. It's you're living in the past, and that's all you got now.
Well,
I'm going to be stronger, better, faster. I'm going to be younger. I keep getting younger every single day because I actually
none of which you've ever been.
Incredible. Chronologically, yeah, you got me. Biologically, I'm getting younger and younger. You're getting older and older. Sorry, bud.
Well, I do feel like this
I am getting older. Very true, but I don't think that's going to make a difference for you.
Tissues are getting less strong. We're just not going to be the same guy, and it stinks. That groundwork's getting laid. You'll have plenty of excuses. People will still say you're a legend. You've got all these medals. You did great. It's fantastic. Everyone's going to look at your career and be like, "Man, this is probably one of the greatest ever." And I wish it would have happened last year. That way, people wouldn't have the excuse of you getting older. It's unfortunate that it's happened to happen this way.
We can.
All right.
Okay, so
let's cut this. Let's cut it. You guys, listen. I'll just tell you guys.
I love this. I love this because this is. I absolutely love this. I love this, and
Your body doesn't love it. Your deep
excited.
front line is tugging on your spine. You're freaking out. You're fidgeting everywhere. I know your
I'm not
cortisol
freaking out
levels
at all,
are
bro.
through the roof. I can see those cortisol levels changing in your body language.
Which is great. Which is great because it makes me even more prepared for the match that we're gonna have, the imminent matchup. Number one, you got to make it to me. You got a lot of tough guys in your way.
You're gonna get injured. Sorry.
What was that? I missed that. I'm sorry.
You trained hard enough. I hope you trained hard enough to get there.
All right.
To get where? I'm already there. I'm already there, bro. That's the. I'm already there.
Those tissues out. Will you stop fidgeting?
Bro, stop it.
Guys,
knock it off. Knock it off.
Stop.
Knock
Mute
it
them.
off.
We did this. All right. Okay. I'm
Mute
calling
them.
it.
Caleb,
Knock it
mute
off.
them. It's over. It's a draw.
Over. It's over. Listen.
No.
It-
No.
Here. Listen to me, and then you'll each get a last word. Let's do it.
Closing
Ben,
argument. Closing
Ben,
argument.
You're not helping. You stop too.
Finish it up.
Dake, last word. Jordan, last word.
Whoa. Why do I have to go first?
Okay, Jordan. Who cares? Jordan, you go.
60 seconds.
For sure. I don't even have to say much. The bottom line for me is I know what I'm capable of. So regardless of everything about human physiology, biology, science, something you read in a book, someone told you, if we're just going to the bare bone facts, I'm a competitor and I'm going to be prepared. That's all I know. And so that's really all I need to stand on and rest on. I'm confident in my abilities. I'm not thinking about my age. I've had past success and I'm ready for whatever challenge this guy presents. He's got to wrestle a few matches before he even gets to me, but I'll be ready. That's it. Bottom line. I don't really talk much. If that's one thing that you've known about me over the bulk of my career, I don't really talk much. I remember back in 2013 when you did an interview someone asked you, what's it going to take to beat the best wrestler in the world later on this evening in the finals of the trials? And you said, I am the best wrestler in the world. And then I proved that you weren't. And I continuously prove that you weren't every single time we've competed. So regardless of how many people you wrestled early on the day, regardless of how much science you have on your side, how tinted your glasses are that you wear around the house, what color the screen on your phone is, whether you walk around barefooted or not and lay on your roof.
Wait, Kyle.
The bottom line
She was
is
asking what I do to help you. Oh, okay. That was probably you texting from her phone, huh?
who asked you that?
Your wife did.
Oh,
Yes,
stop.
she
No one.
What machine I use for recovery. Don't lie. Come on.
All right,
Everyone
Dake's
knows.
last word.
Oh, the
Kyle,
Juve.
Kyle.
Are you talking about the Juve? Are you talking about the Juve?
Okay. Yeah, you still using it? Hope so.
All right, Kyle. Get your last
Listen,
word.
all the science in the world can't help you, bro.
The science won't lie. The physics don't lie. I'm moving way better now. You're moving way worse now. And that's all that there is to it. I mean, there's going to be a time when this happens, and I'm really excited for it because it's just going to prove my point.
What's going to be your excuse afterwards?
My excuse is going to be that I just decimated you. That's it.
Well, there you have it.
You're not going to be the same guy. You'll have plenty of excuses to get through it, and that's okay. It's because you're just doing the same thing that you've always done, and you just keep getting worse and worse. Sorry about your tissues, bro. Your legs. You keep stretching those legs after practice. Keep your neck pulled on. Do that flaccid training.
Thank you. Thank you so much for caring so much about my tissue. I appreciate that.
Man, I care about everybody's. It stinks seeing people walk around in pain.
All right, well, we can end on that note. Seeing people in pain is bad. And I think Jordan and Kyle can agree on that. I can agree that this was the wildest FRL of all time, and I don't know how it could have been any different in history. Kyle Dake, Jordan Burroughs, two of the best to ever do it. Folk style, freestyle. Who would win? We will never know, but we will find out in probably April of 2021 where these two stand in freestyle wrestling.
2021. Stay tuned.
We'll see you then.
Get there, buddy. I hope you get there.
All right, we'll see you
Don't
then.
hurt yourself. Don't retire too soon. I need you to not retire. I want you to leave the shoes on the mat after I beat you.
Hey, Caleb, cut him.
Cut him. Thank you both. Thank you both. See ya. Y'all got each other's numbers. If not, we can connect it. Okay. That really happened. I really did not. Ben, you're my enemy.
Enemy! I just gave you the greatest show in FRL history. You need to give me a bonus.
Ben, oh man, I was not ready for that. I truly.
We did not know that was happening.
I did not know that was happening. I'm actually, you know what?
You actually told me not to make that happen. But it wouldn't have been fair. You're going to let Jordan tell his very compelling case without someone arguing against him?
Hey, Ben.
Come on.
Hey, Ben.
What?
There's a reality where Jordan could have come on, and then if Kyle had the notion, he could have come on. That would have been fair. It would have been fine. Hey, oh, wow, it wasn't fair that I didn't have someone on my side when I presented the argument. Well, you're talking about fair. Fair. I did tell you, don't do that. And you did it anyway. You defied me. You're totally unmanageable, Ben. And you know what? I'm not just mad at you. I'm mad at Caleb Blakeman in the back. Because that's a cold setup from Caleb. Because he knew this was happening, but I didn't.
I just wanted good TV.
Yeah, he said he just wanted good TV, but you know what? He cold set me up. Now, I loved it at the same time, but I would have liked to give Jordan a heads up there. But, you know, it definitely devolved into something completely different. It devolved into Dake cutting promos and psychologically barbing Jordan for 2021. And that was the entirety of Dake's message. He was not really about the 2011 versus 2013. It's like it was all about him sitting out. It was all about chronological, biological. There was tissue talk. Stretching after practice. Cortisol. He saw the cortisol levels in Jordan increase before our eyes.
What did that even mean?
I don't know.
Kyle Dake is also Benjamin Button. He's getting younger every day.
Younger. Yeah. We broke so many stories here.
How did Jordan Burroughs not call him on that one? I mean, Jordan Burroughs, that was the most obvious one. Man, you're saying you're getting younger. That's not even possible. What are you talking about?
Yeah. When he first said it, I was like, hold on. That doesn't actually make a lot of sense. But Dang it, Ben. So I think there's a lot, man. And I've said it on FRL for a while. Kyle Dake does not like the trials process. He does not like the fact that these guys get to sit out. He's talked about it on Twitter. He's talked about it here. He's talked about it here even more. And I was glad to hear him basically explain how him having to sit out or him having to go 79 was a result of his injury. But man, I couldn't help but think that this was all about the head games they wanted to play with each other.
Okay, so go ahead.
I had stats ready to go. I know before the show started, JB was like, you guys didn't have any stats. And he's not wrong because, to be honest with you, I thought I figured I would be on Dake Island by myself when we did that show. I did not expect the fans to pick Dake, and I did not expect Ben to pick Dake. But I had facts ready to go. I did my research, and I know Jordan did his research. So I kind of feel bad that Jordan didn't get to just do his thing.
I had another point that I was going to make about their trajectories, right? Like in 2011, they're basically, you could say they're on kind of similar trajectories from 2011 for Burroughs on 2013 for Dake on. And while they're not at the exact same time, they're both going up and to the right for a couple years there, and they've basically plateaued, leveled off about for their level of excellence. They're not getting incredibly better. And so they hit their apexes. Their apexes have overlapped. And Jordan has shown to be better in that way. And it also, to me, I think that Dake's start in 2013 was not as high as Jordan Burroughs in 2011. I think Jordan was much more world-class at wrestling overall. And I think the whole freestyle... hold on. No, not at freestyle. At folk style, too. He was the undisputed Hodge Trophy winner that year. You want to look back to all these years, just like you're going back to 2009 because Michael Chandler wrote him.
I mean, Dake was also the undisputed Hodge Trophy winner that year. And Jordan's right. He does not get credit for being a good enough folk style wrestler. No. I totally agree with that. I'm on board with that. But
I said he's one of the greatest of all time.
No, I know you didn't, Ben. I'm just saying, like, that is like
a thing.
That's a fact. He doesn't get enough respect for being a good folk style wrestler. But at the same time, we also view Kyle Dake as a guy that a lot of times just got by. Not necessarily squeaking out wins, but 4-0, something like that. 2013, Kyle Dake had a 75% bonus percentage and pinned 18% of his opponents, which is almost 50% of the guys he wrestled. So this guy was dominant from every position that year and was pinning dudes. And as he said, he didn't give up a point the whole time, NCAA, till the finals. And I looked at every match, every result of his last night, and outside of like 2 matches where I couldn't find video or an exact match-by-match breakdown, I only found 1 match where he gave up a takedown, and that was in the finals to David.
Yeah, and that could be true. But I think, listen, you throw out, it's easy to say that, but you just have to throw out, this is just a completely different being when you're talking about Jordan, in my mind. It's just a completely different level. The guys he was taking down routinely, and you could say folk style freestyle, he's taken down Dennis Sargouche, he's taken down Godarzi, he's taken down all these guys multiple times. I mean, the only way he could score, he didn't have a lace at this point, right? It was just winning a takedown tournament. And basically, you're saying, you're going into this match, Jordan basically admitted he would go into it with the mindset of like, I'm just going to win this match on my feet. And I think if he knows that going into the match, I think he gets multiple takedowns against Kyle Dake. I may be crazy, and maybe Dake gets a takedown and rides him, but I just don't see that.
At first, it was going very well because Dake was like the guy who was the most prolific scorer in that era, NCAA wrestling. David Taylor scored 1 takedown on him in 3 matches. And in those 3 matches, he scored 1 point, 2 points, and 4 points. And in the last match, one of those was kind of a bogus stall call. He shut him down. And I'm not saying he would completely shut down Burroughs and not give him a takedown. I just think that he would limit his offense, and I think he would win.
All right. Well,
do I get to make a point here? I still haven't got to make a point.
Oh, okay. You've done enough. Go ahead.
You guys are cutting me off. So I actually did my homework also because I thought maybe foolishly that I might actually get a word in this morning. And you know what? I'm glad they got to argue because at the end of the day, they're both so elite. I didn't really want to like make negative points in either one of them why the other one would beat them. I mean, so I think it's almost hilarious how Jordan was getting upset about a fictitious tournament that we ran over quarantine, but
That's
I watched
the funniest thing.
Here's
yeah, keep going.
Hold on. Here's who I watched. I watched Burroughs Howe. I watched Burroughs Taylor series in 14, and then Burroughs Dake in 13. I'm not so sure that Burroughs gets by David Taylor in the semis after watching those matches. So remember, that was 2014 David Taylor versus 2011 Jordan Burroughs. Those matches were crazy. I went back and rewatched those. They were awesome.
I love that. How you selectively include freestyle results and freestyle exchanges.
You do the same thing.
I think it's fine. You guys are the ones dismissing.
No,
Ben is
it's
the,
not.
I'm not.
Yes.
I did not dismiss Piles. I did not dismiss. How did I dismiss?
Because you're basically saying, when I say Jordan Burroughs in 2011 won the world championships, you say in freestyle. However, you are so quick to draw a comparison when David Taylor cradled him at the Open twice. So you can't just say, okay, freestyle. Well, yeah, he won the worlds in freestyle. That's crazy. But one thing if it was Greco, Ben, he won it in freestyle. He won it strictly on leg attacks. He didn't get counters off of crotch lifts and a leg lace. He double leg guys. He re-attack guys. He hit single legs on guys. That's how he scored points.
Yes.
Okay.
And the point I made earlier was that I picked Dake by riding time. Michael Chandler rode him for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Don't tell me that doesn't matter at all, because I realized there was a 2-year gap.
You kept bringing up that Mark Martin win.
Yeah, well, you bring up freaking Mark Martin. Give me a break. Hold on. So wait, let me finish.
I only brought up Mark Martin because you brought up a Chris Tyler Caldwell win.
Kyle Dake is not Michael Chandler. I never in my wildest imagination thought Kyle Dake would be able to ride David Taylor. I didn't think that could happen. Kyle Dake rode him. Kyle Dake was not an outstanding turner. He was good, but he was one of the most elite riders that we've had in the last 20 years. And thinking that he gets riding time on someone is not that far out of the question. So I'm sorry, Jordan, that I thought that he got a minute, whatever, riding time. And in addition, it kind of makes it even easier now that Jordan said he was going to cut him.
Yeah, he's going to cut him, but he was also not going to go under him. He basically mentioned that too. So
Kyle's got a good point, because he's going to need multiple takedowns, because then it would be 2-2, because he's also not going to ride him.
So basically you're saying Jordan would have, let's call it 6 minutes, but actually probably 6 minutes and 30 seconds to get 2 takedowns, or if it goes to overtime, he'll have 7 minutes and 30 seconds to get 2 takedowns on Kyle Dake. Does that to me sounds much more likely than him getting fewer than that?
But then are we saying neutral? Are you saying Kyle can't get any takedowns?
7.5 minutes neutral.
So
how got 2 takedowns on Burroughs in that middle of the match?
How wrestled how's pace impacted Jordan? That wasn't Dake's game.
Yeah, and actually there was one segment in the first period where it was 2-1 Jordan. Howe had a single leg. Jordan did this really awesome scramble, knocked into his butt. But then as Howe pops up, he kind of like puts Jordan's knee in a precarious position. And Jordan was about to give up the takedown, but he yelled because his knee hurt, obviously. And, the ref blew it dead, which, I'm not so sure you're supposed to do. And see, this is like, I hate bringing that up. It's freaking stupid. Like, I don't want to make the counterpoints against Jordan, but if we're talking about 2 of the greatest of all time, we have to measure every little single nuance of the match.
Well, we did do that. We have measured it. And the funny thing is that this whole segment has involved landmines where we pick Kyle Snyder to lose to Gelagayev and Colin Moore fireman's carrying Jake Varner. And that drew the ire of 2 an Olympic champion and a world champion, multiple champions, and they wanted to talk about it.
You guys were talking about the most competitive people in wrestling?
Okay.
Seriously.
That's it. And it's funny. We're talking about something it's kind of unrelated, but I was talking about like wrestlers wrestling and when they would wrestle and when a match could potentially happen for the season when we returned to wrestling again, and I was like, it's not about money for for a lot of these guys. The pride of putting it on the line outweighs any cost or anything they could earn in this, and that has nothing to do with Dake or Burroughs or anyone. But I'm just saying the pride that these guys have in their results and their legacies are. That's in many ways how they are defined, fair or not. That is how people. It's Kyle Dake, 4-time national champion, 2-time world champion. It's Jordan Burroughs, world and Olympic champion, Hodge Trophy winner, as is Kyle. So, interesting stuff. We can move on. I don't know if it's over because it's come up on quite a few shows, and
I'll be back next week.
Ben is going rogue on me, and I would have loved. I had some questions for Jordan I wasn't able to ask.
I did tell Mark. I told Mark Bader this morning because I knew he could keep a secret.
Yeah, he can. Now I'm mad at Bader. So I figured he knew too, because based on the tweet he sent. So I think I don't even know what I was gonna say, man. I'm just mad.
Hey, so
I wanted to ask him about guys training, non-Americans training in America.
Oh, that would have got him all pissed off. He was already mad enough, Christian. That would be just unnecessary to make
Jordan.
Well, he wouldn't have been mad if you hadn't brought Dake on. And Dake was just antagonizing him.
No, guys, you saw even before we started rolling live. You saw he was getting pissy with me about it. And it's like, bro, I picked you to lose by riding time in a fictitious match. In which, if Jordan asked me, okay, 10 matches. Who wins 10? I say, probably Kyle 4, Jordan, or Kyle 6, Jordan 4. Like, I think it's a highly competitive match in which either guy could win. And it's fictitious. And you guys saw it. He was getting mad at me over nothing.
I didn't think he seemed mad on the call during the show. I think he wanted to get his little. I think he wanted to set the tone there. I would say, yeah, I don't know. We can move on. That was, but yeah. If you want to talk about Dake was the one bringing all the heat, like, in terms of like barbs and like aggression. I thought he was way more aggressive than Jordan was, and also, it really speaks. But here, so you say Jordan was he was irritated with you, but you about a fake match. Kyle Dake thinks I picked against him in all these matches that I didn't pick against him. But these guys...
You probably did.
I absolutely didn't. It's on... The best part about it is it's all written down or live on the internet to this day. You could go back and look when I picked him. The times I've been consistently against him are against Jordan Burroughs, which, by the way, that's been a pretty good prognostication to this point.
I agree.
So, I'm not anti-Dake. I just happen to think Jordan Burroughs would win this match, and we can go on to another thing.
Just wait. Can I say one thing? And I know you guys feel the same way. These two are two of the best 165-pound folk style wrestlers ever, and the all-decade bracket was crazy because you had David Taylor and all else who I would throw in that same conversation. And so at the end of the day, these wrestlers, and listen, I had to deal with this. Before I was on FRL, I would get so mad when people would get upset with you guys doing the show. You got to pick someone. We're doing a bracket. We're going to pick a freaking winner, guys. Someone's going to be pissed. Someone's going to be happy. But at the end of the day, this is our job, is to pick a winner, to pick a loser. Sorry.
Yes, you should be sorry. So, a couple other things. One, I have to read. We're doing on-air ad reads. I'm going to do one right now. Okay.
What?
This is an ad for FloWrestling. It was shaping up to be the biggest and best NCAA season in recent history until it wasn't. Watch FloWrestling's The Season That Wasn't and learn about how the 2020 season came to a crashing halt 1 week before the NCAA tournament. Tune in this Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time at flowrestling.com/STW. We're going to show that trailer. Not yet, though. We're going to show that in just a little bit. We're going to have the filmmaker who made that film on here after a little while. But we've got some more stuff to get into.
Yeah, let's piss some more wrestlers off.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else can make? Hey, here we go. I can't get on this wrestler's good side no matter what. Even though I used to pick him to win basically everything. Nick Wisdowski versus Alan Gelagaya for the best heavyweight of the decade. Yes, that's right. Alan Galagayev double landmined his way.
People are big mad on Twitter when we put these polls out because like, where's Snyder? Where's Nelson? Where's Kassar?
Landmine.
They're not very happy.
They got to deal
should
with
be mad. You guys are communist sympathizers. They should be upset with you guys.
I'm not
fair.
a communist sympathizer at all. I'm just picking matches. You know, I don't think you're a communist sympathizer if you pick Sadulayev to win a match. So I wouldn't think picking Galagayev to win a match is any different.
No, you're a communist sympathizer if you pick Sadulayev.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you are.
Sadulayev versus Nomad. If you pick Sadulayev, you're a communist sympathizer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you have it. You can't pick good wrestlers based on what country they're from. All right. So, but I'm not going to go first. Nick Gwiazdowski versus Alan Galagayev.
Why is Gwiazdowski mad at you? I don't even know.
He's not, but his mother often is. And she's a nice lady, just does not like me. And that's okay. She yelled at me multiple times, but she yelled at me after Nick beat Kuhn because I foolishly picked Adam Kuhn, and Gwiz absolutely destroyed him. Okay, so soon.
Yeah, that was bad pick, Christian.
Bad pick.
I can't go triple landmine. I can't do it. And I was tempted to pick Galagayev after the Gwiazdowski tweet that you saw yesterday. I know you saw it, CP.
Yes.
So I got slightly tempted.
What if I told you? What if I told you that Galagayev tech-falled him in folk style in college? What if I told you?
Gwiazdowski wasn't very good as a freshman.
No, I didn't say he beat senior version Gwiz. I'm just saying that happened.
Remember when Montel Marion came up in the Dake versus Burroughs debate?
Dake, you can't listen. We ride hard for Montel. Let it not be said that we did not ride hard for Montel when it came up to 141 time. However, when we're talking about Jordan Ernest Burroughs, I cannot hear the Montel Marion comparison. It was an amazing move. He body locked Dake to his back, and Dake got a takedown. That was unbelievable.
That was so amazing.
That is like no one does that. No one does that. Just Kyle Dake. But I can't get with that comparison.
That was fair of you to jump in like that.
I had to drop the hard double M there. I didn't know what else to do. Okay.
Okay. Nick Gwiazdowski.
Yeah. So what? And you know why I'm going to pick Gwiz is a point that Stephen Kyle Brackey made.
Because you're scared of Gwiz's mom.
One, self-preservation. I don't think Galagayev knows what FRL is or listens. He left the sport when he graduated, and I think he's still involved, but he doesn't know we're talking about him right now. So, one, I don't think he would be mad. And plus, I feel like I've built enough good. But no, going to the actual match, Brackey brought up the jump that Gwiz made from that true freshman year where he did place. He was an All-American to even just that redshirt year when he beat Jeremy Johnson. It was not close after Johnson had beaten him.
Trent kind of handled him at NCAAs, and then it completely flipped.
So so basically what you have to come to the conclusion is did Gwiz get basically 15 points better from true freshman to whatever version we're using, senior, junior year, doesn't really matter to me. They're all excellent. I think he probably did. I think he got that much better. I think you look how much smaller he was than Galagayev at that point. He got bigger. He got better. He maintained his athleticism. I do think Gwiazdowski wins this match, but I think it's really fun.
Listen, I'm listening to the man himself, Nick Gwiazdowski. He said that he. Hold on, I gotta pull up the exact tweet here. Where's it at?
We tweet so much.
I know. Why do we tweet so much? No, we should tweet as much. Jordan Oliver responded to our tweet of the Alan Galagayev highlight video and said, best heavyweight in the game. And Gwiz said, I agree. So I am going with Alan Galagayev.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't matter because the fans chose Nick Gwiazdowski, I believe to the tune of 79%.
79 kilogram %.
I'll tell you what. OSU wrestling guys ride hard for Big Z.
Yes.
Like Jo was in our mentions again. Neil Ayersman, our beat reporter Seth Duckworth, like they love Big Z.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. He was fun. He could definitely win this match. He's in the conversation for the greatest heavyweight of the decade, even though his highest placement was third. It was a heck of a run. It was a Cinderella story. It was Zeke Moisey, but at the end of the day, you ran into NATO, and it wasn't the best matchup, and the better guy won. And clock struck midnight for Gelagayev, but a heck of a run as we cap off our best of the decade. Could you give the people a quick rundown of the 10 weights?
2019 Spencer Lee, 2011 Jordan Oliver, 2015 Logan Stieber, 2010 Brent Metcalf, 2016 Isaiah Martinez, 2013 Kyle Dake.
I'm starting to sweat again.
2019 Zahid Valencia, 2014 Ed Ruth, 2017 Jane Cox, and now 2015 Nick Wisdowski.
Oh boy.
Okay,
that's a
Christian,
squad.
Christian,
Yes.
I got an idea.
Oh,
So
you're gonna
someone-
pull David Taylor on.
I might. Someone proposed that we put this 10 guys into a tournament next week, which will piss everyone off because there's only gonna be one winner. I don't know if I want to bring this to their attention. There's only gonna be one winner. What if we bring everyone on that's gonna face each other? Just let them argue, and then we pick the winner afterwards.
Spencer Lee and Nick Wisdowski. Be like, I would tilt you. Quiz would be like, I'd throw you away. It is kind of weird to like say, okay, if Spencer Lee was 250 pounds, what would happen?
Yeah,
like,
I hate that.
It's kind of, I don't know.
Or do we shrink Wisdowski, or does Wisdowski become 125?
125-pound Nick Wisdowski.
Dylan Nass brought up a good point, and I wanted to ask it during the show, but we could hardly get a word in.
Yeah.
But he tweeted that we should just ask Tyler Caldwell who was better
Ooh,
between
that's not a bad
Dake and
idea.
Burroughs.
That's a good idea.
Tyler Caldwell kind of wrestled them all a bunch of times.
David Taylor.
You could ask Taylor, although Taylor and Dake are boys.
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
Caldwell
you
wrestling
could.
David Taylor.
But I'm saying you could also ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask Taylor. Oh man. All right. Well, so that's the best of the decade. End of a little era there. We're not gonna have time for the 2018 NCAA wrestling breakdown. That is for dang sure. Where else can we go? We have a special guest coming up in 8 minutes. Her name is Simone. She's a film editor. It is not Kyle Dake or Jordan Burroughs or like Donald Trump or anyone like that.
Christian.
Yeah.
Burroughs and Dake have the call-in numbers. What if they just called back in and started raging on us? That would be funny.
They actually could. Oh, Caleb said he changed the numbers. He was afraid that was going to happen.
They were both. I don't know if they could hear each other. They were both still talking after Caleb cut them.
Yeah.
They were?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I could see them. I could see both their mouths moving.
How could I not? Why couldn't I hear that?
Because the way the thing works. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been wild. But they did not come back on. Why don't we tackle a couple of FRL questions here before we go? There were some good ones for Ben.
Yeah.
Including one about you giving out the funkiest award. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, can there be a funkiest award where Ben picks the funkiest wrestler of the NCAA season? This guy would nominate Sasso, Gross, Lujan, and Darmstadt. Who, in your opinion, you may want to pick our son, Ben Darmstadt, but I don't know if he would qualify or not.
Yeah, so you know what? I saw this question and yesterday in the doc, and I meant to go do my research, so I had a good answer. I would like a recess for the weekend so I can really pick who I like the most. I want to make a really, really good choice. I don't want to just do it flippantly off the top of my head. So
like you did your Dake Burroughs pick.
Well, no, I there was some consideration. I mean, I didn't do a deep dive and watch all the old matches like I did last night, but, you know, I thought about it.
I'm just picking on you. Yeah, no, okay, that's fair. You can kick the can down. Is Ben scared of Dylan Dennis' striking after the poll?
How about Dylan Dennis puts a poll up? Man, if you're going to put a Twitter poll up, just be sure you're going to win, Dylan, you dum-dum. Come on.
That was funny. So Dylan Dennis, who is a MMA fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, actually. He's very popular on FloWrestling. He tweeted, who would win in a striking match, me or Ben Askren? And Ben won. So he kind of like, he set up the alley-oop to get dunked on. And that's what you really hate to see. The final tally, after 77,000 votes were in, 58% for Benjamin Askren. So congrats to Ben. The Twitter public thinks you would beat Dylan Dennis in a striking match.
He played himself.
Do you think that's true? Do you think you would?
Do I think? No, I would beat him up. He's a dum-dum. I mean, this man is fighting guys who are 1 and 2, and he's pulling guard. I mean, it's literally embarrassing. And because of he's McGregor's buddy, he has all this publicity, and so he like thinks he's good at fighting. But he should probably like be good at fighting before he thinks he's good at fighting. That
makes sense to me. Okay, there's another good question. What is Ben Askren's response to Daniel Cormier saying Ariel Helwani could beat you in a striking match? So, all right, we took out Dennis, but now your next target is Ariel Helwani.
Daniel was being funny. He's giving me a hard time. I actually texted him. He got mad at me, but I'm going to say it anyways. I had a group text with him and Ariel, and I said, okay, I'll box Ariel and Helwani in a charity match, and the co-main event is you versus the Scale.
Whoa! Did he get mad at that?
Probably not. He's kind of like me, like where you can say just about anything to him, and he's not really going to get upset. And it's kind of how I roll, also. So he was going to pick on my weakness, so I had to pick on his.
Makes sense. This will be a fun one. What was the darkest part of all your wrestling careers? Was quitting ever a thought on your mind? Just something to lighten the mood.
I would say my biggest struggles were my freshman year of college because, I had an inclination that I wanted to be really good, and I was getting my ass kicked every day in the room by Tyron, by Scott Barker, by a bunch of other guys. I just wasn't that good, and I lost 10 matches over the course of 6 weeks, and it wasn't like, can I be good? Can I be a starter? It was like, I want to be great, and dude, I'm so far away from that right now. I'm so far. And, eventually I came out of it and obviously achieved some pretty good things.
Okay. Do you want to talk rock bottom, Kyle Brackey? You don't have to. If it's too soon.
No, I lost in the state finals 2 years in a row to the same kid. So I would say the second year I lost him was pretty rock bottom.
Dang.
Yeah. We had, so I don't know the exact number. It was I think it was 32 years or something like that, but my high school had at least one state champion for like 32 years in a row, and I was the only one in the finals that year, and I lost.
Oh man!
Dang.
To the same kid that I lost to the year before. Oh. So that was pretty rough.
Dang. All right. Well, that's too bad.
What about you, CP?
Okay. So as a competitor, the whole thing was rock bottom because I was terrible the entire time. But rock bottom for me as we'll say wrestler coach, so it's actually interesting when. He's probably listening. His name is Zach. He knows what I'm about to say. He beat this kid. I talked about this match. He beat this kid at regionals. He was going to be a state champion. He was a kid I worked with tons in the offseason. We were doing stuff every single day. And he lost to this guy in overtime. And I had like a breakdown. My hair started falling out over the course of the next year. It was really, really bad. Yes, it was horrible.
Hair fell out?
Yeah,
hair fell out?
Yes. My hair and clumps started to fall out. And so I had to go to a dermatologist and get injections in my head. So that was rock bottom. It was bad. It was really bad. I cared way, way too much about high school wrestling but whatever. I got on the other side of it and now I'm here. So it's all good. Imagine if Ben's hair fell out. I mean, that'd have been horrible.
I don't think it's that. I don't even have a receding hairline. Look at that.
No.
Beautiful head of hair.
That's great.
Hey, Christian, in the Facebook chat, someone keeps asking me if we can get Johnny Roanoke to make a guest spot next week.
You know what? Johnny Roanoke's a coward because we don't know his real name. And I only know he's from Roanoke because I looked up the number. But this dinkus called into a show from his actual cell phone, so I had his number, and I harassed this dude for weeks afterwards just because it was just fun. And I would just be bored, and I'd just be sitting on my couch. I was like, let me call Johnny from Roanoke, see what he's up to. He's like, at the end, like at first he started like barbing back.
You called him? You called him Christian?
All the time. Yeah, all the time.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. He called, he didn't answer. And first he would kind of give back a little bit. And then he's like, at the end, he's like, dude, can you please leave me alone? I'm sorry, dude.
You broke him?
Oh, broke him. Break stick. Yeah. It was like a bad Carver experience for him. It was awesome. So I had my revenge, and he dunked on himself by calling from his actual cell phone. So that was fun. Good questions from friends. We're going to move to the next segment of the show, where first we're going to play a trailer for our latest Flow film before we bring on our special guest. So check it out, the trailer for the season that wasn't.
Valencia, Aaron Brooks. These two could hit at NCAAs this year.
Oh, there we go.
The big story is Nick Lee, Luke Pletcher.
Pletcher with the score and the 2.
That 3 through 8, 9, 10, that race is going to be crazy.
There's Shinzo, there's Bull.
Two of the best teams ever collide. Cale Sanderson will set his team up for another run. Were they able to beat a team as good as Iowa is the question.
We are having an emergency FRL. The NCAA tournament is done.
COVID-19 screwed up the NCAA wrestling championships.
This is just something that you can't plan for, so to have that be the end of your season, it's tough.
This was probably our best year in relation to an NCAA team. I think we were going to be a top 4 team, there's no doubt about it.
Wrestling's an incredible community. I think we come together in the toughest moments. We'll get better from this.
Boom. And live in studio, we have our own. What is your title, Simone? Simone, give us your title. I should have. A bad form by me. We have Simone. Simone, what is your title here at Flow Sports?
I believe it's video editor and producer.
Wow.
Chief video editor.
Chief video editor, producer, Simone Kahn. Welcome, first of all. Second of all, talk to us a little bit about making this film and the experience that was for you and what you think about wrestling, because give a little sense of your athletic history maybe for the people back home.
I don't know if my lower third came up or not, but I would say I'm a retired athlete.
Okay.
Probably stopped around 13.
Okay.
The 8th grade is when I peaked and I said, maybe I focus on other stuff. But yeah, up until a month ago, I did not know anything about this wrestling season. So learned everything really quickly. The fun thing about editing this one is industry insider. Normally we shoot interviews for a Flow film. And the whole Corona thing, we couldn't all get together. So my main source for putting the story together was FRLs. Just hours and hours of FRLs. And I don't know if you guys realize this. You guys talk for 3.5 hours sometimes.
Yeah. The shows go a little long. So did you become, I'm sure you not being a wrestling fan, probably weren't listening to FRL on the reg. Did you come to hate the show or like the show or just be like, I can never listen to this thing again? Are you having PTSD having to now be on the show that you watched for over 20 hours?
It is a wild experience. I did dream about this day, or maybe nightmares, but no, it was good. I liked it. I did watch it double speed every time, but I think I got all the information.
Okay. All right. I'll try not to be offended about that.
No, I got all the info. Christian, you were always probably the most animated. You and Ben. So good to cut to you guys. You guys are always freaking out. So.
Yeah, I'm a little emotional. Okay, so what did you think when you were pitched on this project and as you were coming together? What were some of the storylines that kind of resonated with you from just the human to human aspect of it?
I think it's probably people like Luke Pletcher, all these seniors that were kind of having their best year, and it's just kind of taken away from them. There's a lot of that, a lot of initial kind of shock at the NCAAs getting canceled, but the part that I really like is towards the end of the film when people kind of reflect more on the season and how just because this one major event got canceled doesn't mean the whole season went away. They still accomplished a lot, and when they kind of talk about how the wrestling community in general has helped them become the people they are today.
So what did you learn about maybe wrestlers? Because if it's a very unique community, it's a unique mindset to be a wrestler, especially at the level that those guys reach. What did you learn about what wrestlers are like through making this film?
Oh man, I guess they're hardworking.
Yes, good guess.
I mean, I find it all, like, I'm not a sports expert, but I find it all pretty inspirational when someone commits their whole life to being their best at something. I think that's great, and I think all the wrestlers show that. And, you know, it is a full commitment, and a lot of them were working towards that one NCAA championship. So.
Yeah, no question. Now, talk about the film a little bit. How are you proud of it? Do you think you did a good job? Are the people going to like it? Make some predictions. Put it on wax.
Okay. Well, so there's always drama online.
Yes.
So people comment stuff. You know, maybe it gets hate. I don't know. But I personally like it. I think you can go through a lot of emotions. You know, spoiler alert for people not aware of what happens. When Corona hits, it can be shocking. And the initial kind of shock and sadness, it hits really hard. But I was kind of happy with the way you guys interviewed so many good wrestlers who were very mature, and a lot of coaches who said a lot of kind of uplifting things about how we can reflect on the season and how we shouldn't just get down about it. So I feel like the last few minutes, it can be very emotional to hear all that. So.
Well, cool. We're excited to debut this film on Friday. I've watched it multiple times. Very exciting. I know I've had to bug you about switching out some B-roll for a couple things, and you know, I appreciate your attention to detail. But you're preparing for maybe your biggest project yet, Simone, because you and I are about to embark on a journey with one of Ben's favorites, Sion Williams. We're gonna do a video with Sion today.
What?
Yeah. What do you think, Ben? Are you excited for
about what's it? Yes, I'm excited. What's it about?
Give the pitch, Simone.
I mean, it's
no spoilers, but give the pitch also.
Let's just say it's very serious. Think, you know, very serious documentary, artistic. It's going to be an experience.
What do you know about Sion, Simone?
Very little. I've talked to him maybe once.
All right, so Ben.
My mind is trying to wrap my head around Sion Williams' artistic experience. So it's just like
that's the pitch right there.
It's oil, water. I don't feel like they go together very well.
I know. That's going to be the beauty of it, I think, is in the surprise. Ben, if you had to explain Sion to Simone in 30 seconds to a minute, as best you can, how would you do that? Just so she knows what she's up against.
Oh my goodness, Sion, he is just happy, funny. He hides his really intelligent side. You don't get it coming out very often, but he's really sharp. And he just kind of brings everyone's mood up. I mean, it's hard to be around Sion and like not be laughing and having a great time.
Okay. Well, we're going for the opposite effect. We want you to cry when you see Sion.
Yeah, there's going to be some walks down lonely streets.
We're going to see the side of him that you've never seen before.
Yeah, that's what this is about. Bracky, do you have anything I should ask Simone before we let her go and prepare for the Sion shoot?
No, I think you guys did a good job. I think or maybe, Simone, can you like explain, because there were some people yesterday that I think they liked the trailer, but it's like, man, it's like hard to come to terms with the season being over and not happening, and they're like, I don't know if I can watch. Like,
yeah,
why should they watch?
I mean, maybe could give them closure. I don't know if that's a big statement there, but
is this just to answer this question?
No, just tell them it will give them closure.
Is this going to heal the nation?
I think so. I think it has the power. This piece of art, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, we'll call it art.
I don't want to call it a video.
Yeah.
Like maybe the experience. But yeah, I think the title can maybe be misleading because it says the season that wasn't, and people might be like, no, we had a whole season. And I think that does reflect in the film. And, you know, everyone has a chance to kind of talk about what they accomplished, even though this major event got canceled. And, you know, you hear a lot about different wrestlers talking about how wrestling has changed them as a person and how the community has helped them. And so I think it's bittersweet. It's not just all sadness, you know?
It ends on the upward trajectory. I think I was inspired. I mean, the guys, as you mentioned, are super mature and have a lot better. I mean, I was just talking yesterday how I would have lost my mind if I was the coach of Ryan Chirella, and these guys had their entire dreams just like uprooted in front of them, and they handled it with such class that I think is admirable and maturity. So I think you're going to like it. I think it's really cool. It's tomorrow, 7 Eastern. It's going to debut. We're going to have a pre-show at 6:30 Eastern, or maybe it's 7:30. Now I'm getting my
It's 7:30 Eastern.
Got it. Thank you, Kyle Brackey, my time zone expert. You need a right-hand man that knows time zones well. Well, Simone, thank you so much for coming on. This was a pleasure. We'll do it again.
Christian, can I ask one more question?
Yeah, please do.
Simone, I don't know if you watched the beginning of the show. Are you Team Dake or Team Burroughs?
See, I misunderstood. I thought I was coming on the show to give my expertise on that. I watched tapes all last night. I mean, I'm the insider that you bring in.
That's right. So where do you fall? Team Dake or Team Burroughs? I mean, listen, Dake's probably listening right now, and so is Jordan. So, you know, it's up to you.
Okay, for no real reason, no facts or anything, I'm going to go with Burroughs.
Wow. Finally. I didn't have to bring on someone that wasn't the actual person we're talking about to get someone on my side for once. Jeez. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a little validation too. Thank you, Simone.
No problem.
Well done. Even if I may have planted that information in your head, it doesn't matter. Well, thank you for coming on, Simone. Tomorrow, the season wasn't. We'll do that. We're gonna wrap the show here for the next 5 minutes. I'll see you in a little bit when we do the Sion video. So thanks for coming on.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. We can wrap up with a couple more FRL questions. Ben, I think you guys, to summarize, are going to really enjoy the season that was, and we have a lot of other really cool pieces of content in the pipeline right now. So get excited about that.
Christian, were you messing with me on the Sion thing? I'm trying to I can't. Is this a joke?
Absolutely not. We're shooting a video with Sion today.
It can't be melancholic for real. That's almost impossible.
It's supposed to be it's gonna be a funny video. Obviously. That's that's Simone's tone. She's gonna make it funny. But it's going it's a surprise for you. It's actually for FRL. Ray, my boss, yes. Ray's like, you and Simone need to do a piece with Sion, and it's like a day with Sion, and you can play it on FRL. And he brings it up. He has an idea. But, when your boss tells you something a couple times, I think as an employee you should do that thing. So I'm like, all right, we're going to do it. So today's the day we're going to do a Sion video. It's going to be fun. You don't have to tell me twice to make a video with Sion, because I think it's going to be fun. And Sion's I hit him up at probably, I don't know, 6:30 or whenever I got to HQ, remind him. He hit me back with a quick yep. So he's ready. He's probably here right now walking around yelling at anyone he can find in the HQ. Okay. Question from Omega Mattis, Kyle Brackey. When will there be an Alien Hour?
Well, I was planning on having one today, but then I heard Jordan was coming on the show, so I was like, I got to get ready. So I got ready, and then I didn't even get to spout off any of my facts. So
okay. So maybe we can get an Alien Hour for next week.
Shout out Cliff Fretwell. He got me down a rabbit hole. The Alaska Triangle. It's 2 to 3 times more deadly than the Bermuda Triangle. People.
What? It's probably. Yes. It's got to be grizzly bear related.
Oh, it's everything. There's aliens. There's ghosts. There's Bigfoots.
It's funny. Go ahead, Ben.
Can you do an Alien Hour on Kyle Dake chronologically unaged? Or how do you? What do you?
I might need to. I might need to get with him. I need to get with him and understand that a little bit better before I can report on it.
Nomad has called Dake an alien before, so maybe it's. And if anyone has ties to the extraterrestrial world, it would be Nomad, right?
Yes.
What's the new thing Nomad's on a kick about? The Anunnaki? What is it?
Yeah. Anunnaki
bring them up. People be going deep down the rabbit hole, Christian.
But that's what Nomad does.
Space thinks they're bad, though.
Space says it's a trash cult.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people think they're bad.
All right, question for Ben. How likely is it that Frank Molinaro is able to push Ja'Cory Teamer to being more offensive next year?
I think it's unlikely.
Really? Why?
I mean, Ja'Cory Teamer's been wrestling for how long? What he's been doing has been fairly successful for him. He does have he's actually got a plethora of offense. He just doesn't choose to use it all the time. He likes to be very strategic about the way he's going to wrestle and scramble. And so I would think for something like that to change, it would have to be something really dramatic, like say, him not placing or him losing to someone he doesn't expect to lose to multiple times, and that would maybe change his mind.
Got it. Can we get Ben Askren's thoughts on the chest crusher? This is our last question.
We talk about this yesterday?
No, before the show.
Off air?
That was off air. So the chest crusher is like kind of the Sadulayev move he hit on Snyder.
Yeah.
Do you consider this to be a good move or a trash move? Compare it to a crossface.
Okay, so it's totally a trash move. I don't even think it works anymore. So what happens essentially is you shoot, right? You shoot in a shot, and you get a little too deep, and then you reach back, and you hook this arm, and you hook this arm, and you pass the hand over, and you lock. So you have now both of their hands, they're on top of you. You post your hand, and you essentially sit out. That's an old school Wisconsin move right there. I don't ever see you. I'm going to call it my boy. My boy Jacob Roshka got pinned in the 8th grade state semifinals by this kid from Athens in a chest crusher. And I made fun of him for like the next 5 years. And now here we are. Well, let's see. He's like his 3rd year of college. So we're about 10 years later. I'm still, Jacob, you got pinned in a chest crusher. Can you imagine?
Hey, Kyle Snyder.
Oh, no, that wasn't really a chest crusher because he only had one of the arms and he had a leg,
Yes.
Like this. It was like a half chest crusher.
It was a full body crusher, so it wasn't fair. All right, well, Ben, I guess I'll thank you for this show. I am thankful for you, Ben. All jokes aside, we are good to go, Caleb, if you want to play us out. What a week of shows. And we're going to do it next week. Who knows what surprises Ben will spring upon us, Who's he going to bring on? Dana White? Ariel Helwani? John Jones? I don't know. We'll just stay tuned and see who shows up on the TV screen, and then we start talking to them. That's just how the show's going to go. Thank you guys for listening. 484 strong of FRL. We'll be back next Tuesday, but tomorrow, do not miss the live premiere of the season that wasn't, live on FloWrestling. You're going to like it. Thank you to Kyle. Thank you to you for listening. We will see you Tuesday. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. It's going to get better. See you guys.